The Bitcoin breakout is starting right now, and on today's update video, I will be discussing all the targets, the reasons why this is currently happening, the most important resistance is getting broken right now, what does this mean for the upcoming period and the upcoming trend, and I will be exactly talking about some very interesting signals which are right now occurring exactly in this market, and I really want to discuss it in today's update video. I'm gonna be talking about this cycle, where we're currently exactly sitting comparing towards the previous ones, and much more things will be discussed on today's update video. So without any further ado here, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes, will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And I want to start off the video that Bitcoin indeed just closed the newest highest daily candle ever in history of Bitcoin. And of course, for the ones that don't know it, the reason is because MicroStrategy is entering the Nasdaq 100, and that is basically an index fund where basically if people buy it, they automatically buy MicroStrategy. And if you don't know already, if you do buy MicroStrategy, you basically are buying Bitcoin. So the Nasdaq is getting exposed to Bitcoin, and ultimately the entire market is just reacting very positively towards that. And due to that, we are actually breaking above this very important previous level of major resistance, which now looks to be flipping into support for Bitcoin. So we are breaking above an important level on the 1 hour time frame. I honestly think it is looking quite okay right now here. We have been, of course, looking at this massive symmetrical triangle, which we have clearly seen the breakout of and that exact retest. Then after we retested this level, we are exactly right now bouncing from off that level right now. And if I'm going to be looking for a price target on this breakout, guys, my target is clearly $109,000, which is quite an insane target from here. To be exact, from off this exact moment right now here, it will be another 7.5% towards the upside. And one thing for sure, if Bitcoin does create that next move towards the upside, I do think that ultimately the rotation into altcoins and the Bitcoin dominance is going to be massive. So yeah, I am very excited for that. And honestly, if you're just looking at the 12-hour time frame, you can clearly see we're creating higher lows, we're creating higher highs, and only right now we're just struggling ever so slightly on that 1.618 on the Fibonacci, that level $100,000, 500. So honestly, the moment we break above that level right there will be the confirmation of another major continuation higher. And honestly, what we're just looking at right now here for the Bitcoin price section is just a massive compression. We're creating an ascending triangle or whatever you want to be calling it, but basically it comes down towards the fact that we are creating a major compression and it's about to be breaking out anytime soon. Again here, we're also seeing that actually if we're looking at Bitcoin since the start of 2024, that the drop-offs are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, especially from off August. We had first minus 29%, then minus 18, minus 10, minus 9.3, and then the last retracement was minus 9.1. And now we are seeing that the drop-offs are getting smaller and smaller. And maybe one of the reasons for that is, of course, the large amounts of inflows on that spot Bitcoin ETF here, because the buying pressure is just insane, especially from BlackRock. We're seeing that right now on the Bitcoin ETF in general. We have seen so far since the launch more than $35 billion in cumulative flows, and here you can see the chart. It is going absolutely exponential, and that is ultimately a very bullish thing for the market, because due to this massive buying pressure, we are seeing, of course, less steep drop-offs in the market right now. And I will already guarantee you, in this cycle, we're going to get many corrections. And on actually every single correction, it is a major opportunity to open up new trades here. We've now seen one major sell-off, but I do think, and I know it for sure, there will be more to come here. But please do not necessarily panic too hard, because we are still trading in a bull market. What is actually very nice to see is that Bitcoin is creeping up here while gold is dropping, and we're seeing an ever so slight rotation on the bigger perspective. Then talking about where we're currently sitting in this cycle, if we're going to compare it towards the 2015 to 2018 cycle, we're moving in a very similar way here. But basically, if we just compare all the cycles all together, we are right now at this stage here, very close to Christmas, where usually Bitcoin does the best in terms of performance. So I am very excited for what is about to be happening next year. But to be very honest, if we're just looking at all the previous cycles, we are likely still going to be seeing some strong momentum, but it is not necessarily going to be lasting super much longer, because if we're going to compare it towards the previous cycle, the 2021 cycle, It lasted till approximately May 2025. Then we had a major correction. And then later that year in September to August, and then later that year in September to October, we topped out in the market and we went into a major bear market. So something similar is likely to be expected. I really think that this time around here in May, it's going to be the same like last cycle. Sell in May and go away, but for now it is not the time yet here, but definitely whenever that is coming, I'm going to be taking a very similar approach on the market. So now as well for the Bitcoin price action, we're seeing that basically Bitcoin here on the 1 month time frame is not really seeing like it's already topped out here, but we do of course know that we are having less exponential highs every single cycle, so I won't be surprised that we are of course also not necessarily exactly going to be touching that level. But right now, if we're going to compare the $20,000 break towards the $100,000 break, it is a very similar consolidation. And yeah, you can fill in what happened afterwards, because after that, we saw a major continuation higher, and we're seeing something similar happening in 2024 right now here. So very excited for that here, and especially for Christmas, because usually during Christmas, we tend to see major rallies in the market, and that is definitely a thing you can't ignore, because it's just actual data. It always happens in bull market years. Bitcoin always surges heavily during Christmas, and that is of course due to the fact that people are just talking about Bitcoin, they're sitting in their homes, they don't do anything else, and they're just buying. So that is a very great thing here for the market. And if you are interested in trading Bitcoin or any other altcoins, guys, there is right now a possibility to get an insane deposit bonus on the Blofin exchange. You can find it in the link description of today's video. If you want to be trading there, don't forget to sign up an account using that link below here. But anyways, this is definitely the exchange you want to be trading on if you want to be trading with big numbers. So check Blofin in the link description of today's video. Further on, I want to be pointing out the fact that the entire altcoin market is really looking at the verge of a major explosion, like it also was in 2020. Also right now in the Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing that clearly the Bitcoin dominance is seeing that breakdown, seeing that rejection from of the downward sloping resistance line, upward sloping resistance line, I mean. And yes, the breakdown is right now getting sentimented, and ultimately this is going to be a very great thing for altcoins. We're seeing also on the super trend indicator a major bearish crossover happening right now here, and that ultimately is going to be leading towards an even bigger altcoin season. Ethereum is indeed breaking out right now here, and if we're just looking to all the previous cycles, it is making a lot of sense. Altcoin season is starting right now here, and if you're just comparing it towards the previous cycle, 2020, 2021, it does look also very similar with this very steep top structure, and then we get that major dump on the Bitcoin dominance, and that is really where altcoin season tends to be starting. So I'm excited for Bitcoin. Only thing that really worries me is this major bearish divergence on the bigger perspective, but as long as we're getting these bullish catalysts in the market, I do think we're ultimately going to go higher. But in the bear market all the way back here, I said $120,000 will be the level where I will be starting to cash out aggressively. So I will be sticking to my words. I'm going to start cashing out whenever Bitcoin hits $120,000. It's just purely more a risk management side here. I bought a lot of Bitcoin around $20,000. So for me, it's already a 6x here. So with that being said, that was it for me in today's update video. If you did learn something from it, don't forget to slap that like button. Guys, whenever I do think there is going to be any topping signals, you will be the first one to know on the channel. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.